That's where my book is. Okay, we're back to the Tikunei Zohar again. And this is in the back of my book. I think you've got pages. I hope you have enough pages there. So today we're starting the Patach Eliyahu. Let's see, what are we doing? Okay, there we go. And we really start with this introduction. Let me bring this down a little bit here so I can see it better there. There we go. So the introduction says, Hinei Kodem Sheb, Hes Haskil Rebbe Shemech Ledrosh Sisre Rebbe Tayram, Shehem Razim Eloim Bebir Shir Kumazuch Midosov Shal Yotze Bereshis. He says, what? The measurement, the height, and the nature of the Yotze Bereshis Kaviyahu. Amat Tefila Zu. Shehik Hayan Mashin Noagim Lomer Kodem Kol Davish Bekadusha the Shem Yichud. So this is what? Mashin Noagim Lomer, before you say the Shem Yichud. Al Yedech Bechaku Tomer and the Elam, that whole phrase, the Yached Asis Spheres Ba'achtos Gomor, Hime Ein Sof Baruchu U Baruch Shemo. So all of that phraseology, I'm not sure exactly what he means. Is that the way you start out? This is the first thing you do, more or less, something like that. A pasuk b'Shabbos ha'ein b'shvach ha'ein baruchu shuhu echad she'ein sheni lo v'hu elyon v'nivdal mechakol. So he's special. Now we have a note down here at the bottom, number Aleph. Let me see how I can do this. Number Aleph. There we go. It's careful. So he said number Aleph, he says, the Ramak, Kasvat the Fida Zuch Bezel the Shana Vihidech of the Yahoo Zal Kevin Kivod, the Vire B'Maimer Bezecha Beketza Nimrats, the Midas Nimradzos, a Rov Gufi HaChochmach Alakus. What we know, the majority of what we know about our relationship to Elokos. Bir Ikara Einsa Bachdusa Pashut, Vinyan Atzilus V'Drosh V'Drosh Atzmos V'Kalim, and then there's a drosh on what is Atzmos, that's the light itself, and the Kalim that hold it. V'Tam Atzilus, and I'm not sure what Tam of Atzilus, the reason why there's an Atzilus, or does it mean the taste of an Atzilus? Minyan Spheros, and then also the Spheros of and the need for them, or what they're doing. So this is all moving right along. He just keeps moving along with it. Has a tremendous amount of quality. Umat Chachmos Devarim Neusim Gevir Oimrim Ukashir Shemaehem Eliyahu and Ukashir Shomehem Eliyahu Choya Omer V'Rashbi Oliver Shalom Rebbe Yehuda V'Shar Chaverim Achosh Ovim Iba Chasidim V'Chatzadikim Shebegan Eden Choya Shomin Ki Kol HaSefer HaKadosh Ahu Sefer Atikun Kamavur B'Socho Ad Kan. That was a little bit difficult for me, so let's go to the next one. Here he says the Chidah Kosa B'Sifra Mora Be'etzbe B'Zachal L'Shono B'Sichas Eliyahu B'Kni Sansa the Basic Knesses, when he enters into Basic Knesses. This was what we say when he said the Basic Knesses. I started saying this. I don't think it went together with this. I just recently started saying this before I say Berchas HaShachar. It seems to me that it's, for the most part, it's very simple. It's very straightforward to translate for most of it. So he says, Eliyahu Yizach b'nikansa the Basic Knesses halacha b'rosh yabia omer b'sichos Eliyahu Hanavi Zachar L'Tov. So I'm not really familiar with this phrase. I know I've seen it, Yabia Omer. So I guess he wants to say, B'sichos Eliyahu Hanavi Zachar L'Tov. V'hi b'Tikunei Zohar HaKodesh Echa b'Kiblo Rabbanan Kadishim. Shehis Misugalas the Kabbalas Atfila Ad Kan Lashono. That's what it's good for. That's what it does. it makes an opening to be able to your prayers to be answered. So he says about Rav Balatanya Sada Vahidfis Besiduru Tefidus Pesichus Hakudusha Rabzos. He said La Omra Tefidus Mincha. Mincha's Erev Shabbos. That's when you're supposed to say it. Apparently it's in the Chabad, I think, the Chabad Siddur. Mincha's Erev Shabbos Kodesh. Achar Mizmar Hodu. After you say Hodu in the Nusach Sfard, or the Nusach Ari, Tehillim Kuf Zayin, you say Kuf Zayin, that's a 107. Asher Yasdach Tamidi Chabash, HaKodesh Ziyah, Bishmol La'eber of Mizbar HaZerah B'Kodesh Tefillas Mencha Erev Shabbos Kodesh. So apparently that's another time it's to be said. Says if a Rabba Makubal, I don't know this name, I just, maybe you know this name. Margolis is his last name. Rev Yitzchak Avraham or Yaakov Avraham Zev, I don't know. Margolius Besifra Tefidus Pesach Eliyahu Ha'erech B'shakla B'tarich Levarach B'tamach B'shal Davar V'ayin Sham B'Hakadomas Levarim Nefloim. So over there, so just other people who have talked about this. So now we're going to start the Pasach Eliyahu. So Pasach Eliyahu Hanavi Zachar L'Tov B'Divrei Shvach L'Kud Shebarichu V'Omer Ribon Almen. So he says Ribon Almen, that he's talking about here the Ein Sof Baruch Hu B'Hislavshus B'Eses Spheres L'Tzilus L'Vishar Olamos. So let's look at number base down here at the bottom. So we can get that. There it is. He says, V'zel Lashon HaSefer Hadras Melech, he said, B'Shem Marchu, Zohar, Masha Kasav V'Sham B'Zoyer Rabbi Eliyahu Gematria B'Pasach, and it goes like this, B'Tzon Lo B'Pasach Hatzin Shel Ma'ala. What is he doing? Why use the word Pasach? So, because there's lots of other ways to begin, but he says Pasach, he said Pasach Hatzin Shel Ma'ala Masha Lo Yehei Koach B'Shum Malach. So he's able to open up the flow from that's going to Benimius, getting closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and let that flow come in, which is something that a Malach cannot do. So therefore Eliyahu is in fact a Malach. Lo ne'ever Pasach al Puma the Eliyahu. So I think it means, so let me see, the language here is a little hard for me. He says, Lo ne'emer b'pasach ala al puma de Eliyahu is gazar, but the mouth of Eliyahu, I think, means closed, was not able to speak. El Kamosha Kasa B'Zoyer Chadash, the Shira Shirim of Kama Makomos, he says, V'lo hoy yicholas b'yada l'chadesh chidush Torah. He, by himself, is not making up anything. He's not saying it by himself. El Masha Kavar Nizgala Benigzach Besifta the Rekia Yizgala. But what in fact he's doing is he's revealing what it is that was actually taught in the Besifta the Rekia Yizgala Piv Lamata. So he's in between. He's a Malach, and he's actually a messenger. It also sounds like from up above. Ve'ein lahachshach mamasha kasa b'tikunim pasach Eliyahu v'omer, because that phrase there sounds like he's making it up. Ribon almen, and he begins with this word Ribon almen. Zechat tefillah episode the yichud. This is a tefillah that for the secret of making a yichud. Exactly what he's saying, I'm not 100% sure. So then we had the next word for on the Kisei Melech. He says on the phrase Uvashar Olamos, he said the phrase was so the Ein Sof Baruch Hu Mislavshas Be'esres Spheres D'Atzilus Uvashar Olamos. So he says on the Kisei Melech says Bakara Ribon Almin. He uses that language, Ribon Almin, who wants the davar be'inyan ha'olam v'chatziluso. That's what he wants to talk about, is the inyan of, I guess, ha'olam, our world, v'chatziluso, and how it's in this position. L'chein karach lo Ein Sof Ribon Almim, so therefore he calls the Ein Sof by this name, because he's speaking, which he said previously, about our world. This according to the Ramak and the Pardes. Let's go on a little bit, and let's go for a number. He says, Da'ant, hu chad v'lo b'chushban, you are one. Let me get back to there. He says, Da'ant, hu chad v'lo b'chushban, you're one, but not in the way of counting. Sha'atoch hu echad b'tachlis achdus, you are one, and ultimately oneness. V'locha v'echad b'toch cheshban, and not like one in a series, like you're the first one, and then there's a series of other comes with it, like the cheshbach, the mizbach, kederek shenagel, the spore, echad ba'ach rochav sheni, and like that, going on like that. Ki hu yizbarach achdus pashut ve'ein sheni lo. Let's see if we can get some little glimpse of a depth here. Let me 1 second. Okay, so he says, let's look at this word number hey. So he said, but beer tevis the ant, that word ant, which means you, I guess. Because of a Ramak, he said, B'zel l'shana v'od ribon almin hu kamo mechuyev v'metzios. The use of the word mechuyev here, I guess he means he's the cause of all of reality. Ki metoch metzios hanivroim, because in the midst of the reality or the existence of those things are created. Yavu ha'adam l'chayev sheyesh la'olam manching. So I guess that, I don't know, again, the adam l'chayev to be, have to, I don't know, sheyesh la'olam manching v'lechein yitzdak sheyikra l'zohar ribon almim. So therefore he says the chayev sheyesh la'olam manhig, we has to admit, or go along with the idea that there is a leader in this world, and the Gavanda is, it's you. What does that mean? Pirish it's you that causes all reality to exist. The Ribon Almen, and he goes back to this phrase, Ribon Almen, possession cause of Ribon Almen Da'antu, that you are. And he goes on this phrase, and its implication, again he uses the word mechuyev, is something that has to be, the mechuyev, he causes the metzios at kan. I guess that's what he's saying. It's a little bit, the language is a little bit hard for me. Let's go on to what the number hey, which went on the phrase Patach is achdos, up at the top. Not one in a list of numbers. He's not the beginning number and then there's other just, following right after it. So he says, etc., etc. Let's look at number hey. There's a hey down below. Number hey down below says, he says, Kach bir Ramak Pardes became cost b'shas raso. Look over there. Bebir divra Tikunei Zohar the Ratzon Lomer. He called davar misbar nechlach l'cholokim u'v'davar shenechlach l'cholokim shaykh lomer b'chelik musag v'chelik bilti musag. There's something that we can understand about it, something we can't. So it's possible that you could reach it and appreciate it. Min ha'chelik ha'musag ha'masiking gam ha'chelik shel lo mesusag. So in your search, I guess, min ha'chelik ha'musag, so you can get some understanding of who he is, but maybe you don't get the whole idea. And when you get to a certain amount, a certain part, then you could really start to understand the whole thing. He doesn't have different pieces or places where you can find an opening to be able to grasp what he is. It doesn't have different parts. Ela achdus gamo pasha petachlis pshitos. V'chein I esh shalomer she'im noidech chelik b'menu noidech b'kol. The Mishumasa Mixasav Yazin Kula, then you're on your way to get the whole idea. Ki hu minhimano ayin sham, because it is impossible for you to be able to do that. Let's read on a little bit more. So now the Pasach Eliyahu says, Antu Elo I'll call Eloyan, it's like you're calling out to Hashem. Atahu Elyon I'll call Elyonim ki yesh kamba v'kamba cholomos. V'zechel l'mala v'zechel, one is higher than the next, or deeper or more panimi than the next. V'ein so baruch hu Elyon al kulam, he's high up above all of them. A little bit of note down here in number Vav. Number Vav is a Kamosha Kasa B'Rai Mehemna in Parshas in Kedoshim Daf Pei Aleph. Kam Raya Mehemna, L'Salik Yadol La'ela. I guess he lifted up his hand up above. He lifted his hand up. V'Amar Yehei Rava Diloch, let it be your will. Ilus that which is most panimi on top of panimius of panimius, are higher than all highnesses. The an is Allah me'iloi le'iloi berad lis iloi. You go deeper and deeper and deeper until there is no concept of depth. Allah ant la'elacha mekal iloi ad kan lashana, but you're higher than all other highnesses, or highness your panimi, more than any panimius could reach. Ber l'chai loi, that's according to the Ber l'chai roi. So that was number Vav, and where is number Vav anyway? I'm not sure. So there it is. We'll read after number Vav. And it says, I'll call stima, another idea. You're closed. More closed than anything else. Sasam I'll call stumim. Kikishem shachan neshama stumo v'nechalama b'socha guf, the same idea. So also the universes, where one is more panimistic than the next. The next call olam is lavish ba'olam shalamata, so that makes that every world is actually clothed in the world that's up above it, or he means to say the world up above it is clothed in the world down below. Mimenu. V'salsa b'socha, and it's sealed up and hidden inside of it. But Ein Sof Baruch Hu Neshama L'Kol Olamos, and he is the Neshama of, in other words, Panimi, to all of those things. V'hu Mislavish Ba'adam Kadmon, and he is clothed in the veil, or the mask, or the garment called Adam Kadmon. So we have, I think, a number here. We have a number Zion. He says, Ki Abba V'Ima Stimim Toch Zun. V'arech toch Abba v'Ima, v'atek toch Erik Anpen. He said v'aderem kadmon toch atek, v'ein so baruch hu, baruch shemo, sansam toch Adam kadmon. He's hidden inside of this Adam kadmon. Behind the ki ha'ein so baruch hu neshama, the neshama, the kol olamos. It's a panemius, the life force of all of the worlds. V'ayin b'etz chaim. He says, look over there. And the Ber l'chai roi, he says, Ubashas ratzon mefarish Eloi al kol Eloyan. So he says, I guess I know what he wants, the shas ratzon, a time of your prayers being accepted. Mefarish Eloi al Eloyan al orha ein sof baruch hu, the stimach called stimim al kavayasher shabatoch ak. Now exactly how that touches up, I don't know exactly how that works, but let's go on a little bit more. He says, Kiyesh kama Eloyan. There are many, I guess he means levels of panemius. Rich anpin v'atek, those two. Lamala v'chem olam kudim v'ak. V'al ha'ein sof baruch hu amar Eliyahu shehu Elo kol Elohim. He's the height of all heights. And let's see, the steamer I'll call steaming and closed, or more hidden than anything else. Who kav, and what is that hiddenness? Because he said this previously, that the word steaming I'll call steaming, it really refers to the kav hayashra chasasam I'll call steaming shehem atek ve'erik anpen. So it's actually, what's his word? It's it's closed up, it's hidden from all things that could be conceived of, which is Atik and Eric Anpin, for example. Eric Anpin sasum to kol partzufi Atzilus, because that's what we understand, that this is really the middle line of the Penimius of all the Atzilus which means the beginnings and the ultimate end of physicality. Atik is closed up inside of it. V'ach b'soch atik and v'ach b'soch. I think it's supposed to be atik. Tot atik mitiber of shadol dematik anoida. Uvezichron menachem at sefer mefarish hachidach v'vein Elohim. I'll call the Elohim the steam. I'll call steam. And there's a difference between these two phrases. They sound a lot alike. I'll give a Rishona should be called parts of Zayin the Tachtona Vizel Lishona. So he wants to contrast the Gar to the Zat. Nira Lanias died, it's a quote. Al Pi Masha Noida should be called Davar Elyon Amaluvish B'Chaveru. Nisharach Shlosh Rishonas Niglim. It remains the Gar remains revealed. Lamala Niglim Amala. V'sheva tachtonis heim ganizech beluvasher betachton mimeno, and then the zat is clothed within the garment that's below it or outside of it. V'chein choy be'atech be'erik be'arich u'va'aba ve'ima. So this is the situation with them. Zezech she'ama Elohim akol Elohim. This is to tell you that, so in other words, you have something up above here, which is the gar. But so he says that's what it means when it says it's higher or more penimistic than anything else. Bechinas masha neshach v'nikla lamala steamim. I'll call steamim. Bechinas shemaluvish v'gonis b'soch olomim olomos lahakiyosam ad kan. Okay, so I guess we'll stop there so we could pick up a little bit of the miluyim that we've been working on and getting a taste